Hello, fellow fellows and fellow educators. This is Diamond Emerald, bringing you another gem. God, good vibes, education, and motivation. Guess what? We made it to December. Can you believe that? When we first started this journey through all the changing circumstances, with all the changing news, with the people we have lost, you and I somehow made it to December of 2020. The acronym SHINE BRIGHT stands for Show Up and Smile. H, be humble but not timid. I, inspire. N, not your friends. E, energy. The B stands for bounce back and fail forward. R, real, recognize real. I, invest in you and then them. T, testify, and E, extremely execute. The component that I want to focus on today is inspire. We have a few weeks left to inspire our kids to make it to the end of the year and transfer that energy into 2021. No matter where your kids have fallen on the lines, no matter where you have fallen along the lines of effectiveness, accountability, of just being your best self, we have a chance to move into 2021 with a new focus, with a new goal, with new energy, because we have survived. And we survived for a reason. The pandemic is still happening. We are still losing people. People are still being infected. But you're here listening to the sound of my voice for a reason. We need to embed that energy, that love into our children and help them transform that into the next steps into the school year. I've been homeless twice during my time living in New York City. I thought it was only once, but as I sat to think and reflect on my story, I realized I've been homeless twice. The one that I want to focus on, however, is the time, my bout of homelessness when I was actually an educator. I went from a couch to a classroom on a daily basis, from some person's apartment to another person's apartment, usually transitioning between two places before I was able to get out of that situation. Now, school always came easy to me, but living on my own and managing, being an adult and managing real estate in New York City was a whole nother monster. I had to use the S and shine bright. A professor once told me at Washington University in St. Louis that her colleagues had once chided her and said something like, "How do you manage going to work every day with the kids that you teach have better cars than you do?" That always stuck with me because I wasn't an affluent student at that school. She was there for me, and she was there for them as well. In that same way, I work on the Upper West Side. I have nowhere to lay my head at night to call my own. And I'm going to a school where my students have doormen and maids and nannies and butlers. And some of my kids are living in a shelter. But I'm in this precarious situation because I make too much money to live in a shelter, yet I don't have enough money to get my own apartment. And because I had been paying money to someone I trusted, I got evicted because they weren't actually paying the rent. I leave work teaching teachers and go to find an eviction notice and have to pick up the pieces of my life and still don't have a place to live when I come back in the fall to teach. The school year starting. Everyone's excited and happy, and I'm trotting this suitcase around every day to school. And I look good, mind you. People think it's just my setup. They don't ask too many questions because I'm not revealing my heart to the people that I work with. They had no idea that I was staying in the building for those long hours so I could have access to Wi-Fi. They had no idea that I came to the building so early so that I could not be in someone else's way because it wasn't my space. They had no idea that the contents of my suitcase was my outfit for the next day, just in case I got locked out. I showed up and smiled. Because some of the students that I was teaching had worse circumstances than I did, because they don't control their life. And the ones that had better circumstances than I did still needed me to inspire them in a way that only I could. And so during this pandemic season, the thing that has kept coming to my heart and mind is that I am so grateful that I'm not homeless right now. Because I barely made it then. But I made it then so that I could be here now. Where have you been, teacher? What have you had to go through to get to this moment right now? And even if you're a new teacher, you still have been in the building for that first half of the year until it was snatched away from you. And it's not fair that it was snatched away from you. But you still have a calling for this moment. You still have a purpose for every single child that is in your life. You still can create actionable growth in the lives of children. Despite what the statistics say, you are still an educator. And you're put on this earth to inspire children to believe in themselves, to see growth in their lives, and to become the amazing citizens that we need them to be in our world. Inspire, teach, don't give up. If I could go from the couch to the classroom every single day, you can go through whatever you're going through in this moment to inspire your students for just a few more weeks. Hold out, make it to the end of 2020 because you are so close. And even if I was still on that couch, I would wake up every morning, find a corner, and I would teach my kids. Because it's really the only thing that really makes me happy. And I know you get that too. Fear not. Shine bright. Have an inspiring week. Have a wonderful day.